Hello everyone, welcome to Navigating Life, Thoughts of Minio. I'm your host Minio. Welcome to today's episode. Today I'll be talking about Deborah, one of the first female leaders in the Bible. I'll also be talking about rules to live by as a Christian lady, and then also delve into some other interesting topics. Stay tuned, and as always, stay true to yourself and love yourself as always. Catch you in the next episode. Yes, I wanted to give a take on Deborah from the Bible, the first female judge. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So she's the multifaceted leader in Israel. So her story can be found in Judges 4 and 5, where she's first known as a judge, or should I say the first female judge, a prophetess, and also a military strategist. And all these three significant roles demonstrate how diverse her leadership abilities are for a woman. And all this while I was thinking she was the first, but then I did some search and I realized that she wasn't the first ruler. But I would say maybe the first judge, yeah, but then she wasn't a first female leader because there were people that came before her. She's also widely regarded as one of the most prominent female figures in the Bible due to her influence during the crucial time in Israel's history, when Balak was out for war, and then they needed someone to do some detailed military strategy and stuff. And then she came in like the boss bitch that she is. Sorry, but yeah, you're a boss bitch during your time, girl. You deserve that accolade. So Deborah's role as a judge was unique in the context of ancient Israel, where Israel was at a loss with the tribes and they didn't have a centralized government or any king at that time. So she formed the judge, which was like a tribunal with leaders in it who she had chosen from all the 12 tribes. And then they were to help resolve some issues and disputes among the people and also deliver Israel from the oppression. So instead of taking one person, later on God decided to choose Saul, right? At that time, she, being the prophetess that she is, got the revelation or from God, the discernment that she should create this tribunal or this congregation of leaders from the 12 tribes. Yeah. So her judicial rule or her position as a judge was a formal and public one, indicating that she was very, very, very respected, and then she was known for her wisdom and then her integrity. People from all over Israel, imagine all the 12, so let's say regions, right? All 12 regions of Israel were coming to her for judgment and counsel. And then she would sit at the palm tree. I remember my Good News Bible, you would see it inside the drawing. She would sit on the palm trees and then she's giving them counsel. And it was so so majestic of her to do that, so regal. So yeah, imagine this woman sitting in authority and settling disputes, which illustrates a very unusual scenario in such a patriarchal society back then. Because even to date, right, we are not totally free of all this stereotypical male era or stereotypical male dominance. We are trying, but if I'm to put into percentages, I would say 40-60, which is not fair. Oh, yeah, that's what I would say. Her judicial authority was not derived from military strength or political power, but just from a divine calling and wisdom. Hers was just different. And then she also had spiritual guidance, unlike the other people who were just military leaders, right? So we had Samson and then Gideon at that time too. Her leadership had a pronounced spiritual dimension. She was able to lead the people because she had a deep-rooted relationship with God, which was giving her the credibility. And also, remember, she was a prophetess. She was just not a leader. She was a prophetess as well. So God was revealing things to her. So the spiritual authority made her a mother in Israel, a title that signifies both nurturing leadership and national influence. It's how should I say? I wanted to use our country's first lady, but I was God damn, people should go to... Sorry, language. Stop, girl, I'm saying now, hashtag. Okay, let's go back to Deborah. But then, imagine the mother of the nation, sort of, not our nation, but the mother of the nation. Yeah, our nation's mother be damned, because she's it's getting political. Anyway, Deborah as a prophetess played a role that was also unique amongst the judges of Israel. There were only a few female prophetess mentioned in the Old Testament. Yeah, actually, thinking about it. Tangent. I'll have to search that as well. Wow. I only know of a witch though. The one Saul went to see to contact, was it Samuel from the dead? But not a female. Oh, nice. See, a female prophetess. A few mentioned. Her accolades are a lot too. A lot. Wow. And she was doing that concurrently as a judge as well. So she was a prophetess and also a judge, side by side. Her prophetic gift enabled her to receive and proclaim messages from God, giving her the guidance and insight into Israel's challenges. She had divine revelations where she summoned Barak, the military leader at that time, to convey a direct command from God. And then this divine guidance was very critical as it gave them an outline strategy that would lead Israel into victory. With also her spiritual and moral leadership, her prophetic role meant that she not only communicated with God or God's will, but she also called the people back to their covenant faithfulness. The Israelites were ashau when it comes to their gods. They were very, very ashau. If we are reading the Old Testament, and you'll be like, wow. But then, anyway, we are, even our generation can realize that we keep straying in every little thing, but then God still loves us. This spiritual authority made her a respected voice that the people trusted in matters of their religion and then also their governance. She also, as a military strategist, during the time of the oppressive rule of the Canaanites, I think under the rule of Jabin, the Canaan king, right? Yeah. So her military technology was superior to what Israel had at that time. And then she made Balak's army nearly invincible. Imagine that. Her strategic command to Barak led Israel's forces into war with the Canaanites. And then they won. Barak at the time was like, yeah, woman, what are you going to tell me? Really? Women don't do military stuff. Women don't lead in the military. So he was like, no, that's what thing. He didn't want to listen. But then, this woman as a prophetess. So why don't you want to listen? Oh, goodness gracious. People are stressing me out. But then, yeah, that was it. That was basically the whole situation scenario. And then later on, he was okay. He was like, if Deborah doesn't accompany him, he won't go. So this was showing revealing the fact that he had trust in Deborah. I think he just wanted to test her that you are sending us to the war zones and you are saying this will work. If you do, come with us, if I die. I know this is very foolish, don't mind me, but then yeah, that's how I'm interpreting it as, because why insisting that she should follow you to go there? She did more, many people want, so Barak later respected her for her leadership, and then as I mentioned, she did agree to go, and then she had prophesied that the victory would go to a woman, foreshadowing Sisera's death at the hands of Jael. Anyway, she went to fight with the troops. Yeah, she going into battle or leading the battle and not staying at the background, even though she was pushed into it, more or less, right? It still gave her the military standing that she needs. You see when they go for war and then they come back, they give them medals and things. Yeah, that was it. That was her own. So co-leading the battlefield. She rallied with the troops and encouraged Barak to move forward at a crucial moment, which gave them their victory and then showed their presence on the battlefield. And then also demonstrating that she is a symbol of leadership. The fact that she's there at the forefront, putting her life at risk for evil, a woman. The victory that she won for them showed how strategic she was in her leadership and how her decision making was also something that was to be reckoned with, right? She defeating them was one thing that was should I say, a most known thing from Judges 4 to 6 or 4 to 5 was a known thing a woman led us or led us into this battle, and then we did so, we came out victorious, we defeated the enemy, and then their troops went back and we had our lands back to ourselves. Women can do it all, they can really, really do it all. So her legacy brought peace to Israel for 40 years. So imagine winning that battle gave them peace of mind for 40 whole years. in an era of stability that contrasted sharply with the chaotic periods before and after her. So when she left, or when she had died, or when God called her home, there was still instability. They were very blessed to have her. She remains one of the powerful examples of God calling and empowering women in society that are often restricted to women in the domestic sphere. So breaking stereotype, Deborah's story challenges preconceived notions of gender roles in leadership. She was not just a token leader, she was a decisive God-appointed judge who fulfilled multiple leadership roles with excellence. Deborah's story continues to inspire both men and women alike to step into God's calling with courage and faith, no matter the odds. Her willingness to act, her faith in God's promises, and her fearless relationship in battle reminds us that God's criteria for leaders or leaderships are not based on gender, but on obedience, wisdom, and spiritual insight. I would like to read out some rules. I'm back again with my rules. Some rules on things you should, as a lady, practice. Yeah. So this one of them is from the Bible. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I think if you are familiar with it, you would know that it was Saul. He was asked by Samuel to wait on him so that he would come and offer the sacrifice unto God on his behalf for, I think, their victory against one of their enemies. But then I think Saul was pressured and then also influenced by his people, and then he ended up making the sacrifice himself, thinking that it's going to please God. But then God was annoyed by it, and as a result, when Samuel was leaving, he held onto his cloak and then it tore. So when he tore like a small part. So God told Samuel to tell him that, like, the one as you tore his cloak, the kingdom of Israel will also be torn from your hands. So only 2 tribes will end up being under your rule, like your family's rule, and then the 10 would be under a different rule. Yeah, like it's a whole thing. I can get into it on another episode. So that's one thing. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So if after 6 months to a year, there's no marriage discussions or marriage talks, you are being advised to move on to the next. I think this is because if you are dating with intention of like an end, you're dating with the intention that you want to end up with the person, you guys want to be together, and then you should make it known to the person. I think if you have been dating for 6 months, I'm sure that conversation, if you do not initiate it, he should. And then you can talk about it. If you see that there's no seriousness in it after a year of it, just leave and not waste your time, because you end up regretting. Don't stay there and think that you can change the person, you can bring him home, or you can make him marry you. Please stop doing that. You are not a fixer. The third one is, before entering a relationship, especially if you desire marriage, see where he is at in his life. That will determine also if he will marry you. Some people right now, they are setting their goals. They want to meet or get somewhere. They are trying to buy houses or buy a car or do something sustainable. And then are you coming in to be of an assistant? So are you come to be the one to help him get those things? Or are you come to be the one to help him fulfill those things? So if you're come to help him get it, meaning you are just like a byproduct. You are going to assist him with your money. You are going to give him the things. You are going to use your links and stuff, get it for him. And then to him, that's where he wants to be. And then he will look back at you. Not all, but then some men will look back at you and tell you that you remind them of where they were, and they don't want that on them. I don't have the ideology or know why that is something that is always in their mind. When a lady they've hustled with and gone out of the hood with is someone they see that reminds them of their past. But then if you are there to, I don't know, be the value. But I can't even say for sure that either ways it's not going to go in your favor. There are some instances where it will work really well for you, that you are the ones who gave him the connections, the money and stuff, and you guys will thrive in your relationship and marriage. And then there are some instances it will not. There are some instances where you be the one that after he has had that intervention from the other lady, he'll come to you and marry you. And there are some instances that he's not even going to marry you. I go to the next or the next or the next you get. The other one is pray for God's guidance in choosing a spouse or partner before entering the relationship. That to save you time and energy. This is very true. If you see someone you like, and I think I learned it on TikTok or Instagram, one of them, I think, Instagram. It was Sierra's prayer that, like, I think it goes along the line of, if this person is not meant for me, let him leave or something like that. Like, it's very long, but like my summary out of it was that you just say that prayer with belief and hope. The person will just leave you and you wouldn't even know why the person left. Like, there'll be some form of confusion as to why the person is no longer there. But then you didn't know. So there, that gives you an answer that the person doesn't belong in your life. Do not be desperate for marriage. This is the most important one. You will end up getting married out of desperation and make the wrong choice. I think this is said and done. I don't even have any form of explanation to tell you again about this. Start praying for your future husband now that you are single. Back in school, when I used to lead like Vespers, it was like one of the things that I'm very proud of. There was things that I used to like use as prayer points, like let's pray for our husbands, our kids, our families, and things like, yeah, you pray for it now because you don't know what it is. Just the same as you pray for your finances, you want it to be better, you want to improve on it, you pray for a job that you want to get into. Pray for that as well. We pray for all the other things and forget about like the husband and the wife and then the family that we are going to marry into, and then that ends up costing us, because you might end up having the perfect family you're marrying into but the husband is a demon, or you end up having the perfect husband but then the family is like you can't even say anything about that. So please be mindful and do that. Do not do wife duties while you're a girlfriend. Simple as it is. This whole wife material. I was listening to a podcast where a girl said she went on a first date with a person. Something happened along the line. She couldn't go home. So the guy has a spare bedroom. It's like, oh, you can lodge in my house. The spare bedroom doesn't have a washroom. So like it's it's just one washroom where both of them would have to share. So in the morning she woke up, she laid the bed. She's fine. She's going to see if she can take a shower and then possibly wear his shit and go home and get a ride back home. She goes to the washroom. The washroom is very disgusting and she's disgusted by it. So she can't even go in there. She just came back out and then wore what she was wearing from the previous night. And then was like, oh, she's ready to go home. The guy comes out like, so you went to the washroom. You didn't see that the washroom is dirty to wash it. Are you okay? Are you fine? Like you, the guy that you bath in there, are you not grossed out by it? So you know it's dirty, but then you are waiting for... So what if the girl didn't follow you and come to your house? Or you'd have one way or the other swindle her to come in and then end up accusing her that she's not a wife material. How can you come and see a place that is dirty and you won't clean it? Hey, am I a maid? Are you going to pay me for it? Like how she described it, I was disgusted by it over the phone. I was like, ew. If that's how you are seeing it, then I'm sure there'll be like algae and then soot all over the walls and things. But then you are waiting for someone's daughter to come and clean it. If you can't clean it, get someone to clean it for you. Like he has no shame. Why would you do that and bring someone to your house and when you finish you are trying to shame him? Don't do wifey duties if you're not a wife. I beg, you're a girlfriend. There are limits to the things you can do. Anyway, some people do it and it works for them. Some people do it as a means to an end. But then media, I'm not here for that. I'm sorry. The last one is, it's also important that you are never too old to get married. You are not running out of time. God's time is always the best, which is very true. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I keep saying this. Janet Jackson had a baby at 50. I can also have a baby at 50. It doesn't matter. So don't pressure yourself. Don't force yourself to get to where you are not supposed to be. You end up being desperate enough and you fall into some things that you really want to do. So please, ladies, be careful and mindful out there, okay? This was a question I was just thinking about, like, if later on in life I find out that I can't give birth, would I have wished for teenage pregnancy? That was like the question. So if later on in life I find out that I can't have children on my own, would I have wished to have teenage pregnancy? No. I think everything is set in stone. If that's what God wants, that's fine. If my eggs cannot be, my fertilized eggs cannot be carried by another woman, if that fails, then it's meant to be. There are kids that deserve love. I can just go and adopt them. I don't think I'll be that frustrated about it. But then, that's me. I don't know about the husband, though.
the person that will end up coming to say like, oh, I'm gonna be your husband. I don't know about how that person will feel, but I think that should be like a question, a question you should ask. She asks your significant other. Yeah. So I think it has to be talked out with the man or husband. And yeah, I would be okay with it. I wouldn't mind. I think it's fine. God knows what's best. Maybe there could be something like Bento's theory, like something could have happened. I don't want that at all. I've also realized that trying consciously to make a good day, or like a day a good day, is better than you sitting down and wallowing in the badness of the day. Let me take it again. So if you put it in your mind, or you make a conscious effort that today is going to be a good day, the hurdles will come and everything, but then the fact that you have made it, or it's a good day, are going to push it behind you and power through and move through the day, and it's going to be like a very good day for you. Even forget about the fact that there were these things that came. Like, you pick out the happy part, the funny part, the fulfilling part, the part that you actually did something that you wanted to do. You get, yeah, that will make it. That'll be something that you would really appreciate than you sitting down and then wallowing in the things that made your day not good. So as part of who I am, I'm a pescatarian. That means I can only eat or stomach fish, seafood, and eggs. I don't know if that's part of being pescatarian, but then I can eat eggs. So my pescatarian diet or journey is not like prescribed, but like professionally. But I went through a whole trial period where I cut out dairy, like dairy products at all, and then cut out meat. I think, yeah, and I cut out what again? I cut out a lot of things. I think sugar too at a point, but then, and I'll gradually go back on one. So I went back on dairy products alone without having any of them. And then I realized that my stomach was taking it okay. I started with taking ice cream because, like, goddamn, it had been like 5 months since I tasted ice cream or even had milk in my tea. So, like, I took ice cream and I was so excited. I was fine. I took ice cream the first day. The following day, I started taking milk. I didn't even take, like, proper milk. I started taking non-dairy milk. And then I slowly transitioned into taking just milk. And I was like, okay, my stomach is fine now. And then later on, I introduced sugar back into my food because I was just taking honey. Sugar was okay, I was fine. That one I didn't even take much long in it. And then I decided to do non-dairy and then meat. And then my stomach couldn't stomach it. I went off non-dairy, I did meat, still the same issue. I stopped eating meat, I'll eat the soup or stew with meat inside, and then it was still the same. I decided to not have any form of meat in my food. It was good. I decided to reintroduce dairy back in it. It was fine. And I decided to just go off meat completely because I can't be doing a marathon on the toilet every day, nights or every damn day. I had a friend tell me that once in a while I should just shock my system with the meat, so that my body can get back used to it. Because I'm someone who used to eat meat a lot. Like, the types of meat I've eaten, like, I've had an adventure. The bush meat and things that we've had. And then suddenly, I just can't have it again. So, I don't know. So, that's what made me prescribe myself to be a pescatarian. Because I'll have fish, I'll be fine. I'll have squid, I'll be fine. I'll have calamari, I'll be fine. I'll have octopus, I'll be fine. Shrimps, I'm okay. Like, different types of fishes, I'm okay. Just I don't like cassava fish. I really hate it. It feels weird. It tastes... I don't like... red fish, but I don't mind. I can eat it, but I wouldn't eat cassava fish. Cassava fish just tastes horrible. No matter how seasoned you season it, I just don't like it. It tastes some way. Me, I don't like it. So I gave myself that diet, and then as you can tell, Ghanaians love meat, chicken, especially chicken, meat, trophy, any type of meat. Ghanaians love it. So imagine, like, the commercial people, right? If you want to order food commercially, you can't order their stews because, as I mentioned, it's going to affect my stomach. I can't order their stews. Shito, like, who out here is commercially selling shito with gizzard and stuff inside? That never happens. So that always works out for me. And it's not everyone that carries shito. So that, like, when you want to have noodles, or you want to buy noodles, and you tell them that, like, take meat out, These people will bring you things with sausage inside. Is sausage not meat? Sausage, right now, sausage is not meat. Or the fact that I didn't mention sausage, you don't understand what meat is. I don't get it. You keep telling them, oh, I don't want anything meat inside, and then they'll bring it to you, there's meat inside. There's sausage inside. And yeah, there's sausage and corned beef. And then canned beef, no, you can't hear the beef in the canned beef. Wow. So, like, you have to be very explicit. It makes it very annoying, and I feel the people at the end of the phone or end of the app taking the order. You know what? I don't even use the app. I always call them because the app will never convey my message properly. At the end of the phone, I'm going to be like, who is this girl? Like, why is she being so pompous? What does she mean? Blah, blah, blah. But then people don't understand. Like, if I don't do it, I'm going to give people a bad review, even though your food is nice. Because you're going to cause my stomach and my bum hole to burn like shit. And thing is, if I don't know and then I eat, I'm going to run for like 4 to 6 hours. Imagine doing that. Like, you can't sleep. If like, oh, the days I intentionally want to, like sometimes on Sundays when I want to eat fufu, obviously. Like sometimes I'll have food made, like the soup made with just fish inside. Sometimes too, I'll have to eat the actual soup with the meat and everything inside, because like, yeah, the juices and then the broth of the meat makes it nicer. When I do that, immediately I take my medicines. I don't know, life as a pescatarian in Ghana is very it's interesting. If I know some people do it for like the health benefits, but then like you guys can just switch back into eating meat and you'll be fine, or you just like have a cheat day. I can have cheat days. I have cheat days with repercussions. So yeah.
Thank you for staying to the end of this episode. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a comment in the description. And as usual, I'm sponsoring myself with the brands that I work with or I work for. Well, the first one is Bend at Home of Beauty, where you get all your beauty supplies and bags and accessories. The second one is Beauty Hair Grow, which is my hair care products I've been using for close to 10 years. Is 10 years a stretch? Yeah, close to 10 years now that I've been using to grow my hair throughout all my hair phases. The short hair, the down cut hair, the growing hair, the long hair, the natural hair, the permed hair, like all those phases. Yeah, Beauty Hair Grow. And last one is my personal brand, which is a crochet apparel and accessories brand, Tan Stitches. I'll leave their links in the show notes as usual. Thank you for sticking and staying, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.